got a few new things that I want to do a look with. I just got a few things here and there from different brands, new things that I'm excited about. So let's get into it. So I basically have a full face. So we're just gonna be doing a little bit of everything. I got some foundation type of product, the powder foundation. I don't think I've ever tried that. I got the new Oden'S Eye Jewel Shine, at least a few of those. And then also the new Poof Style highlighter from Revolution. So let's zoom in. The first thing I'm going to be trying today is the Revolution Peptide Pout Lip Treatment. This is a lip balm. It says it restores, replenishes for naturally plump lips. It has peptides and squalane. I don't know if this is supposed to be a dupe for anything. Like, I'm not aware, at least. I think it probably is, but I'm going to try it on the lips. But now, by the way, I don't have as dry lips anymore. Like in the winter and spring, I was talking constantly about my dry lips. But I feel like we're kind of like back on track. Okay, it's just really thick consistency. It kind of feels like something that could have been in a pot container, but they put it in a tube like this. Smells faintly of something. I don't know what. Maybe it's just ingredients. It doesn't smell very perfumey. It feels really good on the lips, but a little, like, it's pretty thick. It's a pretty thick lip balm, but we're gonna see. I have pretty high hopes. I feel like this is feeling pretty good. By the way, I think I sunburned my ear a little bit or something. There's something happening here, or some irritation. I don't know, because this ear, it's pretty like normal in color, and then this is pretty like red. I don't know what's going on. So if you're seeing that, it's also like I have one ear that is protruding a little more, like, what's it called in English? A floppy ear? Protruding ears? Flap ears? I have one flap ear and one normal ear. You don't see it until you see it, and then you can't unsee it. So today we're gonna take the risk of trying a new eyeshadow base. I think like a year or two ago, I'm not sure when, I was trying some different eyeshadow bases and basically none of them worked. Usually eyeshadow bases just don't work for my oily eyelids. Like, my lids are oily. I feel like I have the oiliest lids that are able to exist, that are scientifically possible. And when I ordered the Let's Get Nude eyeshadow palette by GlossGods, I saw this one. And this is a crease killer eyeshadow base, and this is in the like see-through shade. This doesn't have color to it. And if I've learned anything, it's that usually the colored bases crease faster on me than non-colored bases. I do have to say this feels very like kind of like a hydrating base almost. Like, it feels a little too like creamy, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna put it on the eyes and we're gonna see how the eyeshadow is gonna last. This is not gonna be a full wear test, but usually I can see after an hour or two. Like, if the base isn't working for me, I'm gonna see it fast. So yeah, this is totally clear. I don't mind that. I don't feel like I really want to cover up a lot on my lids, but to me the most important thing will be, and probably will remain, that I don't want my eyeshadow to crease. I have accepted that. I don't have too many wishes. I just want my eyeshadow to not crease. And if I can have that, I'm already very, very happy. That's just the way it's gonna be. I cannot have both. So then I choose non-creasing eyeshadow. Okay, we're gonna let that set for a little bit. Feels kind of like jelly, a little wet. And usually the eyeshadow bases that work for me are really like almost a little drier feeling, almost a little like crepey feeling. Like, they really suck the moisture out of my lids. So the eyeshadow that we're going to be trying today is the new Oden'S Eye Jewel Shine. At least a few of them. I just ordered the shades that I found most interesting. I got them over here. I got 5 of the new shimmers, none of the multi-chromes. For me personally, buying a single multi-chrome, I don't feel like that makes a lot of sense. It's very expensive. It's much more expensive than buying a palette with some multi-chromes. And I just feel like I use these much more, and they are just much more affordable. So I just feel like I'm just gonna keep to the shimmers for now. Like, I feel like single multichromes are just a little expensive. But I was most interested actually in these new mattes. I thought that these looked really, really interesting, really nice. So I got 6 of the mattes. And actually when I was opening these, I was like, I just accidentally created the OG Norvina palette. Which I don't mind because I declared that one because it was too old and now I have it in the Oden'S formula. This one came a little broken, but I pressed it back in. These shades are very, very soft. So luckily I could press it in, but it's also more likely that it's gonna like fall apart in transit. Okay, how does this feel? It just feels more of that kind of like tacky base than like that very drying base. I'm a little scared for what this will mean. If this doesn't work today, I will probably try it again with a little bit of setting powder. That is a trick that I sometimes use. If I really want my eyeshadow to stay, I will use some setting powder just on the creases where it usually creases. Okay, let's see what we're gonna do for the eye look. I think for the mattes, I'm gonna go into this pink one. This was William, this was Jord. I'm gonna use that one as well, and then I'm gonna probably use a combination of like one of the more neutral shimmers, like this one, and maybe a little bit of this purple one as well. So I'm gonna start out with William, and do keep in mind that I'm using this on a base that I haven't used this before, so I'm not gonna be too harsh on the shadows if I notice any difference in the way they apply or wear. But I thought, you know, I kind of know that I love Oden'S eyeshadows, so this might be a good way to test it. But you know, maybe this primer will surprise me. It could work out well and then I'll be very happy because I want to have more options, more things in the primer department that I can recommend. Because my options are limited and I'm not like super happy with the things that I can recommend to you. I mean, one of them is just available in the Netherlands, like only in the Netherlands. And this is a small country, not a lot of people have something like to do here, have a reason to be here. I have a feeling that primer does make this shade a little darker because it's kind of like this more wet, sticky primer. I feel like the other primer that I have makes shades a little bit more bright. I'm gonna take a little bit of the lighter pink as well. I'm gonna put that a little bit more towards the inner part of the crease. That is really nice. I personally quite like the mattes. But sometimes I feel like the choices of eyeshadow colors for singles just feels a little random sometimes. Like why? Why did you choose that and not that? Why did you go with that but not that? Like there are so many colors. Alright, I'm gonna go into this shade over here. Which one was that? That was Mauve. I'm gonna take that on my finger and I'm gonna like be really careful because this is a very, I don't know how to call it, like flaky shade when you pick it up. But it doesn't look like it. Yes, it looks flaky, but it doesn't look like so textured as it does in the pan or when you pick it up. That's really pretty. But yeah, I'm just taking a little, kind of like blending that out on the eye. That's really nice. I can definitely feel the tackiness of this primer and I just put a bunch of it under my eye, like that was my fault. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of that one, the light purple, which was called Idunn. And I'm gonna put it more towards the inner parts. Okay, that is really nice, very impactful, very textured. It looks very textured. I don't know if that's gonna be very flattering on textured eyelids. But it could also be the primer, keep that in mind. I just feel like I want to add a little bit of the pink matte. And then I'm gonna take that dark brown called Jord and I'm gonna put that in the outer corner. I feel like that's a really nice shade. At first I was like, might not grab that one because it feels a little basic. And it is kind of basic, but it's also a shade that you can use for a lot of looks to deepen it up. So it's good to have that when I want to build palettes, which is usually not something I really do, but I've been kind of thinking I might put all the Oden'S shades together and have kind of like this shimmery special shades with some mattes to build around it palette. And also part of it was that I really like the palette that these come in. That palette looks really nice in my eyes. I really like the design. Gonna use a little bit of the brown as a liner as well. Using some of the pink under the eye and some of the brown. And I'm gonna be taking the shade Viggo and I'm gonna be putting that in the inner corner. At first I thought that this one was gonna be near white, but it's definitely quite a colorful, like bright mint. It's still light, it's a pastel, but it's a little different than I was expecting. This is a really nice shade. I feel like all of this worked very well. I really like how this is looking. And I think that's gonna be the eye look. The thing I wanna try for mascara is this Han Fix mascara. I think that's how you say it. This is the shade LO2 Long Ash. And I've had this laying around here for quite some time. Like I ordered this quite some time ago, but I didn't want to have too many mascaras open. But now is the time to try this. And I thought this looked really interesting because it's really like this cool tone brown. And often when you have a brown mascara, it is more of a warm tone brown. And since I am cool toned, I thought, you know what, let's try this out because maybe I will really love the shade of this because it's a little bit more towards the gray side. Okay, I really like how this is looking. It is not like one layer and bam, like the new mascara, the brown mascara from Essence that I've been using a lot. But it actually looks really nice. This is actually impressing me much more than I thought it would. I actually thought it was gonna be very, very natural. It's still natural, yes, but it does make an impact. So this is a with and without. And this is one layer, one dip. I really like this mascara so far. We're gonna see. Sometimes I'm pretty sensitive to something in mascara, some ingredient, and then when I go to remove them, I get like a burning sensation in my eyes. So that is one of the true tests for me, if I can even use it. If this is gonna burn my eyes, I'm also not gonna be like testing this. But honestly, I haven't had that much mascaras burn lately. It could have been that it was something specific. I really like how this is looking. Let's see on the lower lash line. It is a very cool tone brown, but it has, like, there's something about it. I quite like it. I would have to try it with more subtle eye makeup to really see how I feel, because now it's a little bit hard to see the shade of it. It's not a super liquidy mascara, it dries down quite quickly. It is more in between, not super dry, not super wet. But that is looking really nice. I'm impressed so far. Alright, next thing I want to try. I've been kind of on this journey. I am trying things that have some coverage for my skin. I've been trying some skin tints. I've been trying some different things to find out what works for me, because I don't mind a slight bit of coverage, but I want it to be effortless. I want it to be super easy. I don't want it to emphasize anything on my skin. And probably I'll only wear those things really for filming, because out and about I just feel like it's too much of a hassle and I don't feel like I really need it for my everyday makeup. But for filming it could be something. But this is the Kiko Milano Weightless Perfection Wet and Dry Powder Foundation. I got shade CR20, so this is like a cool shade, and I think it's gonna be like pretty close to my skin tone. I think this is gonna work probably for now, but we're getting into summer. I'm getting into being a little bit more tan, so we're gonna see how long this is gonna last. See me not get a tan because I keep talking about it. Okay, I'm gonna start out with a brush and see how I feel about that. This is the Singe FO1, and I'm just gonna start with a little bit and see how I feel. I'm just gonna start over here I just want to see, like, if I'm gonna wear anything, if I'm gonna wear something on my face for a little bit of coverage when filming, like sometimes it does look a little bit more like even, and that can be nice on camera. So if I'm gonna wear something, what is it gonna be? What do I like? I just want to have the option. So now I'm trying quite a lot of things, but I feel like if I end up like liking a few things a lot, I might like stop this search for complexion products. This is quite matte, but not like a naturally matte. I feel like it still looks like skin. But I've been trying a lot of things that are very glowy. So I wanted to try something more like this as well, just to see like how I feel about that. So now I applied it all over the face, a pretty thin layer. I feel like if I would use the sponge that comes with it, it might be a little bit more high coverage. So let's take a little on the sponge and apply where I have a little bit of a breakout. That's looking really good, that's working. Okay, so this is more coverage, definitely. And then the brush is a little bit more like effortless, lighter coverage. Okay, this is looking and feeling really good. I don't see any weirdness anywhere. I don't see any dryness. Like, I feel like my skin is looking really good. It is a light coverage because I just applied a little with a brush, but I feel like the look of this on the skin is really good, and I feel like it matches my skin pretty well for now, and it doesn't feel dry. What if this is gonna be the thing for me? What if this is gonna be something that might change the game for me? I'm gonna see what happens when I apply a little bit more of this under the eyes, just over here. Of course, I'm gonna see how this wears. I'm not gonna do like an on-camera wear test for today because this video is already gonna be very long with all of these products. I really like this so far. I think this is very promising. Of course, if you would do your whole face with a spongy product like this, it would be more coverage, but this is nice. I like it. I want this like small amount of coverage. Okay, I really like this, but we're gonna move on. Like, I can talk about this forever, but we're also gonna have to do a wear test. Okay, next thing that we're gonna try. I was very excited to try this, and I don't believe it's available in the Netherlands yet, or like anywhere here, around here, where I can buy it, but I went to London last weekend. I don't know when you're gonna see this video, but for me right now it's last weekend, and they actually already had the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Melting Bronzing and Sculpting Stick. Usually I don't jump at the chance to buy expensive like cheap makeup like this. Usually I don't. I don't know why, it's just a thing. But I saw this in videos, and just the description and the look of this. I love a creamy pigmented bronzer. It's just something that I really enjoy. So we're gonna be trying this out. I got the lightest shade. This one is in Chocolate Mousse, and this looked amazing. I can't wait to try this. This just looks like my thing. I love melty creamy bronzers. So let's, oh, this is like literally melting on my skin. Like, it feels like you're actually taking a bar of chocolate and like it's melting on my skin. The scent is pretty subtle. Like, people described it in videos, said it smelled really nice. I would agree, it smells nice, but it's very subtle. Why do I have all this hair here? Let's see about the blend of this. Okay, that blends really easily, and this shade is quite nice actually. I really like this shade. Okay, I think this is gonna be a new fave probably, because I love these types of bronzers. That is so nice. Makes me think a little bit, not really, but in a sense, like one of the best melty creamy bronzers in my opinion is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer. And this kind of feels like that is this in a stick form, but a little bit less pigmented. Like, this is a bit easier to use than that one. Is this video gonna have hit after hit after hit? I hope so. I get very excited when I try like unexpectedly sometimes good makeup. I love trying good makeup. Sometimes when I do a review and it doesn't go well, like I don't really like the products, I kind of end up feeling a little bit sad. Like I know sometimes people say like negativity gets views, people are negative on purpose. I don't like any of that. I don't like being negative. Okay, this is looking so nice. I am really loving how this is looking. I think at the end I'm gonna carve out my cheeks a little bit. I did it recently and I quite liked it. But that's for a little later. But this is looking really good. Very good. I have some highlighter options. So I have the Revolution Pro Dewy Glaze Serum Highlighter and I have the shade Pink Glow. When I swatch this, this is super thin, super serumy. It feels and looks super thin, very, very promising. I really like the idea of this one. I did pick this up mainly because I was like, what's the difference with the other ones? But like, it already felt and looked very thin and maybe more natural. And then I also decided to pick up the Forever Glow Maximizer by Dior. I saw this in some videos, everyone was raving about it, and just this is a peachy shade, but it's kind of like a cool tone peach. It kind of has something a little salmony about it, and I think this is gonna work on me as a blush. But I also got this Kiko Milano multi-finish trio blush and bronzer face palette. I got shade 02. This is the one with the cool toned blushes, kind of like the more pinky mauve, and then there's also a bronzer in here. And like one of the blushes is glowy and one is more of this like satin situation. I've been kind of thinking what I want to do, but I think I'm gonna just apply this first as my highlight, and then I'm gonna apply one of the blushes, probably the glowy one, over top of that. I cannot use everything, like test everything fully in this video. I have too many products here in front of me. So yeah, Pout applicator. I don't think like, ooh, that looks like a really nice shade of pink, very cool toned. That's interesting. Okay, let's blend. I'm very curious about this one. Oh, that's looking really nice. I love that this has kind of like that cool tone glow, but because it's so sheer and serum-like, it doesn't look too metallic or like Tin Man. It just looks very fresh. At least on my skin tone. Oh, I applied a little bit more over here. But that is blending really nicely over top of the other products. It's not lifting up the bronzer or anything. That's looking really nice. I feel like I need a little bit more on the other side. This is not completely even. Like a little does go a long way, but we need to have similarly glowy cheeks. I really like that. That has a really nice glow. It's not looking weird or crepey, and I feel it drying down, but it's not like super quick. You have some time to manipulate it. It's actually looking really nice. I need to blend a little bit over here. By the way, my eyeshadow is already creasing. It is already happening. I told you I will realize that very, very quickly. Like, it's not totally creased yet, but I see the start of the creasing. So yeah, that's not gonna be my eyeshadow primer. That's very sad. I wish it were different. But yeah, the cheeks so far are looking really nice. I'm gonna be applying the blush, this one, the glowy one from the palette. And I'm just starting out with a little bit. Oh, that's pigmented. Okay, that's a good thing that I did that. I just took a little, but a little might have been a bit too much. But that's pretty cute. A bit hard to see now, like what's the glow from the blush and what's the glow from the highlighter. But that blush is looking pretty nice. Like, it's not glittery, I think. It's really like this glowy situation. And it's not like this golden glow. It's more like a pink glow. I'm actually pretty sad about my eye look, that this is already happening. And I always clean my eyelids before, like I always take a cotton pad with some micellar water and I clean them. Like if there's already some oils on my lids, it will crease even faster. I don't know if that blended together like seamlessly. I'm just gonna take the Crease Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer, and I feel like I need to do a little bit of cleaning. Just gonna take the brush I use for the powder foundation and blend this. I just feel like something is looking a little patchy. I'm gonna go in with the blush on a more precise brush. Could be the combination of products that is not working perfectly. Could be the brush that I just used. Just doing this with a highlighter brush. But sometimes glowy blushes, they have the tendency to look a little bit more patchy and to like emphasize things. Okay, so these are the cheeks now. I feel like that kind of fixed it. But I'll definitely try these products separately as well, just to see if I see any weirdness anywhere. But I think now we're kind of like, we're good. I have no brow products to try, so I'll be right back. Alright, we have one last thing to try. I found in the store, but now they also have it online. I found in the store the 4th lip balm from the Kiko Milano and Bridgerton collection. This is 04, and what was the name of this? This is the Opulent Aura Lip Balm in 04 Dazzling Dahlia, and this is the deepest one, it's the most colorful one, and honestly, if it would have been one of the lighter shades, I wouldn't have picked this up, but I just feel like this is gonna tell you a lot about this series, this collection. Still haven't seen the satin lipstick. The lady in the store was like, the lady in the store said that they were delayed, that they were still coming. Now there's already another collection out, so it's a little strange. I'm sure Kiko themselves, they're not happy about it. Okay, gonna take up the lip balm. My lips feel very hydrated. Feels quite good, promising. And these lip balms, if you haven't seen my video, I feel like something is stuck to my face. Oh, it's my nose. Never mind. Alright, there was an eyelash hanging from my lashes, hanging by a thread. These balms are very soft. This is kind of like a purplish red, very interesting. Yeah, this is definitely the most impactful one. It's not as like scary purple as it looks in the tube. That is beautiful. I already really like this formula, otherwise I wouldn't have bought another one. But these are just very comfortable, and they are sheer, and they have a little bit of shimmer, but it's not too chunky, and I quite like it. I'm gonna add a little bit of a lip liner. It's gonna be the Catrice Plumping Lip Liner in Queen Vibes. And then that's gonna be the finished look. I'm happy with how this came out. I do have some products that I have to spend a little bit more time on, like I'm gonna try all of these more. But generally I'm pretty happy with how this is looking now. I'm gonna put a little bit of an update in the comments of the foundation especially, and the eyeshadow, like the eyeshadow primer. So we're gonna do a little bit of a speed round, and it's gonna be yes, no, maybe. This is how I'm feeling about it right now. So if the wear test doesn't go well, if like further testing doesn't go well, my feelings might still change. The Peptide Pout Lip Treatment is a yes. The Too Faced Melting Bronzer Stick is a yes. Kiko Multi Finish Trio is a maybe, probably, knowing Kiko. Usually I don't have any issues with them. Kiko Powder Foundation is a yes so far. Still have to wear test it, but it's looking really nice and I really like the color of it. Serum Highlighter by Revolution is a yes. Bridgerton Lip Balm in shade 04, also a yes. Primer, probably a no. And the Oden'S eyeshadow so far, also a yes. Oh, and the mascara, also a yes. It's natural, but it looks really nice and I like the shade of this. And that's gonna be it. See you in my next video.